The greater Seattle area is experiencing a heat wave. And I know to most of the country that generally warrants an eye roll and kind of a smirk. And you're not wrong, really, rest of the country. We don't handle any variation in temperature well. We don't. We don't. You've seen us in the wintertime, we're ridiculous. For good reason, but we'll go into that another time. Anyway, it should be up in the hundreds, though, by Monday. And we're supposed to be in the mid to upper 90s this weekend, depending on where you live in the greater Seattle area. This is not temperature we can handle very well. We're not designed for it. We're not used to lack of rain. So, although the water company doesn't want us to water every day, I have not been watering the lawn. I have, however, been watering my plants to keep them alive because the grass will come back. The hydrangea and the heliotrope and the hellebore, look at the hellebore right there that needs to be transplanted, still in just a plastic bin. Those won't survive, and that's not something I can live with. Anyway, so I'm doing the shade watering right now. We're about to cut off the hose action for the rest of the day because it's just not worth it to water in the heat of the day like that. It'll just evaporate. But this is kind of the shade area of my garden. As you can see, the giant foxgloves, aka weeds, are looking beautiful this year. I don't care that they're weeds. I love them. I think they're beautiful. And then Astrantia major in both the pink and the red. They're doing really well. And then there's a white one over there. I absolutely love Astrantia major. Ignore the massive volume of buttercups that need to be ripped out. That heliotrope needs to, or that hellebore needs to be watered as well. So things have been going moderately well in this area of the yard. I haven't been filming it a lot because I've been focusing on the garden, the veg garden area. Jennifer has been doing a great job at trying to get up all of the grass that's grown in here. I went behind the shed over my last day off, and I pulled out almost a full yard waste bins full of blackberries and ivy. It was a battle, I tell you. Didn't enjoy it. But for the most part, I've been getting up in the morning when it's cooler, and I've been trying to water in the veg area. You can see a little bit of green there. Squashes are doing pretty well. I'm starting to see some beans near my arches in the garden area, but the beans I planted in the pots next to this front arch are not coming up at all. So I may try again. We'll have to see. Tomatoes are looking pretty happy. Some flowers are happening. Always the first good step. And over here, these have come back beautifully. They were a little bit shocked when I put them out aside. So I thought we were going to lose them. But they are recovering very nicely, and they like this heat. As long as I water them, they like this heat. And then there's a little bit of green growing in the deep beds. So carrots and beets and salsify and parsnips hopefully are all going to start showing themselves. Got some radishes in that far one as well. And then the potatoes. Of course, the strawberry area is a disaster, and I'm pretty much throwing up my hands at this point because, as I've said, I've given myself permission not to do too terribly much this year. My St. Cecilia, however, gave up the goat, as Patty likes to say. Jennifer's mother. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to yank her out, give up on her. The first flush of bloom on the roses has gone. So at this point, what we're looking at is kind of the in-between stage where I have to go in and deadhead it and cut back like crazy, and then we'll get another big round of gorgeous color. Some of the roses are still looking pretty good. They kind of go at their own time. Crown Princess Margarita looks amazing. I'm very pleased with her. She looks so much better now that I took out the penstemon that was choking her out. And then that's the ketchup and mustard rose. It was Jennifer's pick. Princess Charlene and Monaco has a little bit of bloom on her, but she's going to come back in a little bit. She's really a great recovery rose. And Munstead Wood. Look at James Austin. He looks amazing. Look how tall he is. I'm so pleased with him. And behind, over there, behind the lilac, I've got Dental Hermione. She was actually really lovely earlier, as was Lady of Shalott. But they're in between stages. We absolutely have to cut back this forsythia, and we have to cut back and deadhead the lilac. But other than that, things are going pretty well. The penstemon that I transplanted over here is actually recovering, and I thought I saw a little bit of color on some of their tips, so we might see some bloom after all this year. Yeah, see? You see that pink? Yeah, that's going to be some beautiful trumpet-shaped flowers. Gertrude Jekyll, and then over there, that's Tuppence Marie's rose. That's the Pilgrim. Yeah, so beautiful. And the Generous Gardener, which is Orville's rose. Still being quite tiny because he's getting a lot of shade, but that's okay because he's gonna get there. He's a climbing rose, so he can take his time. And of course, my berry walk, which desperately needs some going over. But I think we're gonna get some beautiful blueberries this year. As you can see, there's some beautiful blueberries started this year. I picked the first blueberries off and had them as a snack this morning on the blueberries up on the way. Currants are looking good, gooseberries, and the raspberries. So it should be pretty good, I think. Anyway. We'll see how it goes. But it's going to be a scorcher today. Ugh.